once again, and today we will be covering the Yorha raid. Last week there was a bit of a problem with my audio. I guess I did not have it plugged in all the way. So today we're going to try it again. I'll try to explain some things, but whereas last week we covered the Summoner, this week we will be covering the Black Mage, which is another caster class. So for some of you eagle-eyed watchers, you may notice that actually my gear is identical. So right here, this is a Summoner, and this is a Black Mage. So you're going to notice that the gear is identical. That is because they are both caster classes, which means that they are going to be equipping this same gear for the most part, with the exception of the artifact gear, which is specifically catered to your class. So a general introduction to the Black Mage. You're going to need to notice this little gauge right here. So this gauge is going to keep track of your Astral Fire, Umbral Ice. Those are the two element aspects that we will be using, and they are going to be very important when it comes to managing this class. I'll get into that a little bit later though. So over here I have my fire spells, Fire 1, Fire 2, Fire 3, and Fire 4. I do not currently have access to Fire 4, and there's a good reason for that. Fire 1 is your basic fire attack, which is just standard fire. Fire 2 is an AoE, so it's going to be doing damage to a large range of enemies. Fire 3 is going to be stronger than Fire 1, however, it costs considerably more mana to use, and it is also much slower to cast, so it's not going to be nearly as fast. Over time, though, there is a chance that my Fire 1 will proc a free cast of Fire 3 that will neither cost me any time casting, nor will it cost me any mana. So occasionally when I'm using Fire 3, I will switch over to Fire 1, I will switch over to Fire 3 because I have a free cast. Fire 4 is only available when I am under the influence of this ability right here, this ability right here, Enochian. So Enochian basically unlocks Fire 4 and Ice 4, and those are going to do a slightly special thing. So Fire 4 is, we can see it has a potency of 300, this has a potency of 240. So Fire 4 is actually a stronger attack than Fire 3. It also has the same cast as Fire 2, so it costs less, and it does more damage. However, and this is going to get into this part here, it's not going to refresh my Astral Fire. So what's going to happen is when I cast a fire spell, it's going to activate my Astral Fire. I'm going to have a certain number of seconds counting down. As long as I continue to use fire spells, my Astral Fire will stay up. Except for Fire 4 will not reset that. So I can cast Fire 4 a few times, and then I'm going to have to switch over to Fire 1 or Fire 3 or even Fire 2. However, I'm not going to be using Fire 2 for what we're going to be doing today. So anyway, that's going to do that. Now, while this is happening, while I'm under Astral Fire, my mana is not going to regenerate. So that means that eventually I'm going to run out of mana. I'm not going to be able to cast spells. So at lower levels, I would be using this ability Transpose. Okay, Transpose will transfer my Astral Fire into Umbral Ice, or Umbral Ice into Astral Fire. So I could switch my Fire into Ice, and then I would be casting my Ice spells. Now my Ice spells are much weaker than my Fire spells. They're not going to be doing as much damage. However, when I am under the influence of Umbral Ice, my mana is going to regenerate very quickly. So Black Mage is kind of fun because you're doing this kind of dance where you're burning through all your mana, switching over to another element, getting it all back, and then switching back to Fire, and then burning it all again. And then Blizzard 4 here, so these are basically the same thing as Fire. You have level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 2 is the AoE. Level 3 is more stronger than level 1, but it's slower, costs more mana. And then we have Blizzard 4, and what that's going to do is it's going to add these little, you'll see these little spikes coming out. I'll have 3 of them. And what that's going to do is it's going to reduce the mana cost of my fire spells. So when I switch back into Fire and I cast a fire spell, it's going to cost me less. And so that's going to save me some mana there. So that's going to help with the mana management as well. So that covers my most basic spells that I'm going to be using. I will also be using Thunder. I have Thunder 3 and Thunder 4. Alright. Thunder 3 is a DOT, which is a damage over time. So what it's going to be doing is it's going to just shock the enemy occasionally, doing extra damage. Thunder 4 is the exact same thing, except that it is an AoE, so it will affect multiple enemies, not the one enemy. Also, Thunder 3 will last for 24 seconds, whereas Thunder 4 will last for 18 seconds, so it's going to last for slightly less time. It does slightly less damage. It's a potency of 30. This is a potency of 40. So it's going to do slightly less damage, But if I was in a dungeon where there are lots of small enemies, it's going to be the better option because I can hit everybody at once as opposed to just one person. I also have triple cast, which allows me to cast 3 spells in a row with no cast times, so they're just instant. We already went over transpose. Over on this side, we have ley lines, which is going to put a big circle around me. And I think I can cast that now. Yep, I can. Okay, so this is the big circle. While I am standing inside my circle, I'm going to be doing extra damage with my spell, so I want to stay in here. If I have to run away, I can use between the lines to return, and I will just return back to my circle. This is going to be very, very important for the raid because I want ley lines up because I'm going to be doing extra damage. However, the Black Mage is basically a turret class where you are standing in one place, firing over and over and over again, and that is not good when the enemy drops bad stuff on the ground. You want to move out of the way, and then of course you want to get back into your circle as soon as you can. So those abilities are going to be very, very important. I have a habit of forgetting to use them, but I really need to work on that. Scathe here is an instant cast ability. It's basically my only offensive instant cast ability. It is not super powerful. It does not refresh my Umbral Ice or Astral Fire, but I can use it while I'm running around, so it's a good thing to do when you're having trouble getting, trying to avoid stuff. You can actually still do some damage instead of doing nothing. Mana Front is a shield, okay, and this is going to be... Mana Front, that's not Mana Front. Mana Front is going to restore 30% of my maximum MP. I'm not going to have too much MP problems, or too many MP problems, due to switching to the Umbral Ice. However, Mana Front could give you maybe an extra cast or 2. But it's also really good if you die because it can return quite a bit of your MP right away, so it can get you right back into the fight. Sleep is going to put enemies to sleep. I am not going to use it. It is not terribly useful except in solo content. So it does have its uses at times. However, especially if you're trying to clear stuff quickly, people are using their AoEs to hit everybody at once. AoE is area of effect. It's an attack that does damage to multiple enemies. So as soon as I put him to sleep, somebody hits it, it wakes back up. So sleep is usually not that useful unless I'm doing solo content and I just need to get away from some enemies and just focus on other ones. Short cast means that I cannot be interrupted. Alright, Summoner has that as well. It basically just means that if somebody hits me, my cast doesn't end. Sharp cast ensures that my next Scathe, Fire, or Thunder spell will, for the first hit, trigger Scathe additional effect, Fire Starter, or Thunder Cloud, respectively. What that means is Fire Starter is the ability that makes fire instantly give me Fire 3, and Thunder Cloud basically makes it that I can use my Thunder spells for free as well. It's random, but it does come up sometimes. Ethereal Manipulation means that I run to wherever they are, so I just click on an ally and zip, I'm over to where they are. And then moving on to the other abilities, we've already been over Ice. Over here I have Freeze and Flare. Freeze and Flare are the big spells for their respective element. Freeze is for Ice, Flare is for Fire. Freeze is basically going to hit a large area. Flare takes up all my mana, but it does a lot of damage to a lot of enemies, so it is a very, very good attack to use when you are in dungeon content. And normally, because it uses all your it uses all your mana, that would be a problem for running out of mana. However, there is kind of a trick when you get into the higher levels where you can just use Freeze, and then as long as you have a knockdown on, you can use Freeze, and then you can use Flare twice, because it doesn't use all your mana the first time. So you can use Flare twice in a row, and then immediately cast Freeze. So when I'm under the Astral Fire, level 3, all my ice spells are going to be free. They're not going to cost me any mana whatsoever. So I can just switch over and just pop. It's not going to be a problem. And then I have Mana Ward. This is the shield. It's going to block some incoming damage. It is actually quite useful. And then on this side I have Addle, which lowers their intelligence, which means they do less magic damage. I have Swift Cast, which allows me to instantly cast an ability. Not as useful as Triple Cast, because that does 1. Swift Cast does... Triple Cast does 3, Swift Cast does 1, so it's not as useful. Lucid Dreaming, it's not going to be a real problem with the Black Mage, because this is for when you're running low on MP, and the Black Mage is almost never running low on MP, because they're specifically designed to get it back. I clicked that by accident. And then over here, Every 15 seconds under Anakian, I'm going to get a tick. I'm going to get this little... You can see there's 2 little diamonds here. I'm going to hit this one, and then this one's going to charge up. And when those charge up, I can use either Foul or Xenoglossy. And these are going to just be very strong attacks that I can use on occasion. I also have this one here, Despair, which does... I have to be under Anakian to be able to do it. It's kind of like Flare in that it uses up all my mana. It's super powerful. And then the last one is Umbral Soul, which is an ice ability. And this is good because normally, like I said, you have about 15 seconds to cast until... You have 15 seconds to cast your next spell of the same element, or else you lose your Umbral Fire or Umbral Ice. Now, when you're running between bosses or between enemies, and there's nobody to hit, you can't just cast spells. If you can't cast spells, then you can't get your... you can't keep it up. So normally at lower levels, what you would be doing is hitting Transpose over and over and over again, switching from fire to ice to fire to ice to fire to ice, back and forth, but you can only keep your levels at 1 because it always goes back to level 1 when it swaps over. Umbral Soul is going to basically give me... It's going to let me stay in ice consistently, but it's going to let me stay at level 3. So you're going to see these little things that are going to light up here. And that's going to be level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 3 basically gives me the best effect for that element. Level 1 just gives me the minimum effect for that element. So for example, fire does more damage. Ice recharges my mana faster. So, alright, so this is basically going to allow me to keep my ice up to level 3. And like I said, when you're low levels, what you're going to be doing is whenever one gets low, for instance, if your mana gets low, you have to hit Transpose here, switch over to ice, start over at level 1 ice, and then work your way back up, and then go back and hit Transpose again, switch back over to fire, and now you can start casting your fire spells. Once you unlock Blizzard 3 and Fire 3, what you can do is you can just instantly cast, from Fire, just instantly cast Blizzard 3, because that's going to give you a level 3 Umbral Ice immediately, save you a lot of trouble building it up. And the same thing, after you're in Ice and you want to switch back to Fire, you're going to switch to Fire 3, you're just going to use Fire 3, and that's going to instantly... Ooh, I didn't want to put that there. Put it back, put it back. Put it back. Put it back. No. There we go. Alright, and so what that's going to do is it's going to have, it's just going to switch immediately over to Fire 3. Okay, so those are basically the spells I'm going to be using, so let's go ahead and sign up for the raid. Now, this is going to be very different than it was last time. Last time I was a summoner. Summoners are considered the mobile caster. They have a lot of instant casts, whereas the Black Mage is not mobile, it's a turret. It's going to sit in one place and it's going to fire over and over and over again. And so basically by doing that, I do a lot more damage, but I put myself in a lot more danger. So hopefully we're going to be okay. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, these are games from the Gold Saucer, which is the in-game theme park. And as yesterday was the weekly reset, then I am, see the challenge complete. All my challenges reset. So now I'm just trying to knock this out so I can get some of my challenges done. Once I earn 100 of these coins, then I will be able to get another challenge. Should be soon. Maybe this one or the next one. No, next one, I guess. There we go. Alright, and... Okay, you see there, challenge complete. From small things, 15,000. What that does is it gives me 15,000 MGP, which are the Manderville Gold Saucer points. And those are just kind of an in-game currency that you can use to buy some fun stuff, some gear, or just some random... There are games you can play. There's a card game called Triple Triad, which I actually really enjoy. It's actually kind of fun. So I play that a lot, but it allows you to buy some and stuff like that, so... It also allows you to buy some mounts, which are like horses or things that you ride. So for example, this one I got from the Gold Saucer. Okay. It's just a little bird thing with a plant head. Or maybe it's a plant thing with a bird face. Hard to say. But unfortunately, it's nighttime here, so it's kind of hard to see. But that's one of the things I got from the gold saucer, and another one was this one, Fenrir, which you cannot see because the puppet bunker thing's in the way. But it's a big dog, very big dog, or wolf. It's technically a wolf. All right, so hopefully we're gonna do okay here. I'm going to try to focus on what's going on, but I'm going to try to continue talking as well. So hopefully I will not fail as badly as I did last time where I wiped party. So let's see what party we are today. Are we party A, B, or C? If we're party B, then maybe we'll get some karma and I'll get wiped. We'll see. Alright, so we can look here. Alright, we can see that there's a Lancer, or Dragoon, sorry. There's a Dragoon, a Ninja, a Bard, and a Machinist, which means that actually I'm kind of lucky today in that I am the only caster, which means that I can cast Need on any caster gear, and I am guaranteed to win it. So there is a very good chance I'll find something I need today, which is very, very nice. Alright. So let's move on the pods here. These pods are from Nier Automata. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend you go play it as soon as you're done watching this stream. Because it is an amazing game. It covers every genre, pretty much. I mean, it's a twin-stick shooter. It's a side-scrolling platformer. It's 3D action-adventure. It's got RPG elements. I'm Alliance A. Alright, and you gotta be careful here, because you can very easily run off the edge, which I would highly recommend not doing because that would kill you. Alright, luckily I do not need to be summoning anything like last time, so let's get right in. I'm going to start with a Fire 3. Alright, it's my slow spell, but it's going to get me immediately into Fire, cast a Nokian, and now you can see on the right hand side there it is ticking down. Okay, and so when that number reaches 0, then I will no longer be able to cast Fire spells. Alright, so do this. I forgot to cast my... And so now I have 0. I can switch immediately over to Blizzard 3. Okay, cast Blizzard 4. Alright. You can see... this one... Oh, I ran into the wrong one, I think. Oh, God, I did. Ah, dang it. Looks like I'm not the only one. Alright, somebody else died as well. Unfortunately, I ran to the wrong one and there was no way I was going to be getting back in time. Alright, so, like I said, the Black Mage can get right back into the fight pretty quickly and easily. Alright, and simply by doing this. Okay, so now I'm back in Blizzard 3, boom, ta-da! And now I am basically back to where I was. See how quickly that is? Alright, so you can recover much faster as a Black Mage than you can as other classes. Alright, so right now I'm casting Fire 4. What that's doing is it's doing more damage, but you can see my number counter is going down 5, 4, 3. I casted Fire 1, and it knocked me back up to 15. So that is why you need to constantly be casting your low-level fire spells, because they're the fastest. You could cast Fire 3, but it's slower, so you're going to get more out there. Now you noticed at the bottom you heard kind of a ding. That was my... Okay. I guess it's this one. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, we nailed it. Okay, so I'm going to cast Ice 4. So you see there's 4 little things down there at the bottom. And I have the one little purple glowing gem that allows me to cast a Nokian, which is a very strong spell. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, I almost missed it. Okay, so I almost did not get off my ice in time, or my fire in time. So I almost lost it. Alright, but so far so good, actually, relatively speaking. Alright. Alright, so we're fighting these flight units right now. These are mobs. Mobs are basically just little enemies that you need to kill in order to get the boss down. Okay, they're basically distractions for you, and they're going to cause trouble. So I have been neglecting to cast my ley lines. So, I was too slow. Alright, so I lost, you can see over there, I lost my element. And the reason for that was because when the enemy died, I forgot to retarget the big boss, and so because of that, I couldn't use any of my spells because I need targets. Oh, all right, back to where I was. All right. Oh no. So this running around part really always throws me off. I have a lot of trouble focusing on doing that and keeping up the correct element at the same time. Especially because I need to keep my counters up. There we go. My charges for... my charges for... Oh, what's it called? Oh, no. Okay. For Xenoglossy and those abilities and stuff are all... They need knocking to be up in order to work. Okay, I'm gonna run over here. Okay. Alright, so I really need to work on keeping my elements up. So right now, what I should probably be doing is focusing on my lower level spells, just because they're faster. Triple cast is making a huge deal too, and it's allowing me to, okay, get out of the way fast enough. Okay. Oh no! Run! Oh, geez. I was not fast enough. Unfortunately. Somebody else on my team also apparently was not fast enough. Okay. So... I am dead. Looks like somebody was trying to res me, but then had to stop. Oh no, they didn't! So last time, as a summoner, I could help with the resurrecting if I had to. As a Black Mage, I cannot. I have no access to that sort of thing. So I basically have no way to help in terms of support. I am purely a damaging class. Oops, wrong spell. Alright, and managing your bars and putting abilities in different places is super important. When I originally started Black Mage, what I would do is I had everything was, I had my Fire 1 and Fire 3 on the first bar along with I had Fire 1 and Fire 3 on the ability bars. Why would somebody put that there? And then I had Fire 2 and Ice 2 on the second bar. Was I guess I was just outside the line. Unfortunately, I'm not a multitasker. Alright, it's dead. Which means nobody needs to res me. I can just hit OK. And... Alright, it looks like we have the thigh boots of casting, but if I remember correctly, I already have those. Or I don't. Yeah, I have those. Okay, well I don't need those then. I should have hit the machine. That was dumb. If you fall behind, you can hit you can go to the little machines and it'll set you up. Alright, so I'm gonna pass on these. Just a general piece of advice, or not rather advice, but just a little nice thing to do. A lot of people, you'll notice that when the gear comes up, what they'll do is they'll end up, yes, move immediately to the sealed area. They'll wait. They won't select the gear. They won't pass or greed or anything like that. At the end, there is a kind of a trick that you can do with that, but early on, there's nothing you can really do. So I always try to use my need or greed immediately, and the reason for that is because sometimes, like for instance, those boots, I can't use them because I already have them. But for instance, if it would drop like the hat or the chest gear, that would have been something that would useful for me, and so if everybody selects, then somebody can pick it up faster, because it will not give it to anybody until everybody's gone through their thing and gone and selected. So if you don't select, then people can't equip it because they don't have it, and sometimes having that could be a very nice thing, to just be able to equip something in the middle of a raid. So try to do that stuff as quickly as you possibly can. Okay, see, now you can see here my energy drained out. If I had Umbral Ice here, Umbral Soul here, I could keep that up. These access points, those are the things you can use to teleport to where you need to be immediately. Alright, so this is where we were last time when I royally screwed Team B. So let us try not... Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, I was Team B. I screwed Team A. So this time I'm Team A. So let's see if we can not screw up other people today. Let's try to be nice for a change. Alright, so I got that up. Cast my fire. Let's get Enochian up. And spam, 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 spam until I need to wait. Okay. So we're casting our fires. Refresh our fires. Fire 3 is up. Cast Fire 3. Switch over to Blizzard. Use Blizzard. Use Blizzard 4. Forgot my lightning. Put up lightning. Go ahead. Cast Fire 3 again. I have a charge of Foul. Use Foul. Use Fire 3. Fire 4. Don't want Fire to run out. Switch over to Fire 1. Alright. Switch to Fire 1 again. Because I'm running out of time. Good. Fire's back up. Use Fire 4. Fire 4. Fire 4. I'm going to run it a little longer this time because I have Fire 3 up. Instantly cast Fire 3. Fire 4. Out of mana. Go up to Blizzard. Blizzard 3. Blizzard 4. Get those charges back up. Back to Thunder. And I'm running out. There we go. Use Umbral Soul to refresh my thing. Great. Perfect. Flawless. Alright, cast Foul. I can cast it twice. Cast it a second time. Great. Cast Fire 1 just to refresh my fire just to be safe. Got a Fire 4 stack, a Fire 3 stack. Fire 4, Fire 4, Fire 4. I realize I'm like acting like an anime character here where I'm just announcing every attack I do. Sorry about that. So basically I'm just showing you my rotations and how it works, at least for me. Oops, wrong button. Okay. Oh no. Stay behind the enemy. Ah! There we go. Have one more cast of instant casting. Great. Back into my circle. Fire. Alright, so you can see all my rotations are here. It says fire, 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 fire. Ice. Fire, 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 fire. Ice. And occasionally throwing a thunder in there. Okay. So, basically what we're doing right now is we're just trying to do a dodge attack, so I'm just going to focus on attacking him until I see something like that. I'm casting Sprint right now. Okay, so that time I did use Transpose. We're seeing the sword blades are on one side or the other, so we have to match the opposite side of the sword blade. Okay. Alpha. There you go. And back to what I was doing. Just doing the spamming attack thing. Now, if you're a better player than me, you could definitely maximize a lot of this, like casting fire later instead of earlier to be safe. Thankfully, Final Fantasy 14 is actually quite forgiving in that respect. I know you don't have to be like a top level player in order to do the high level stuff. At least not the raids, which is good. If you want to do some of the savage stuff, you do kind of have to be better than I am. So, I've never actually done any of the savage stuff when it was relevant. I always do it after the fact when it's not as relevant. Oh, slow fire spell. Alright. So. No, no. Ah, see, I screwed up there. I cast Blizzard 1, and what Blizzard 1 ended up doing was it canceled out my fire, so now I have to get back into the swing of things. But I'm back up because it's pretty quick. All right. All right. Okay. Let's see how we're doing on damage. Looks like we're doing okay. Can't see the other team. Nope, they're doing better than we are. Alright. Accessibility. Ah, get away from me! Okay. Oh, it's gonna be close. Ah, I'm gonna lose my fire! Yes! Oh, almost lost it. Okay. Superior flight alpha. Come on, guys. We don't want to be the last team. Oh. B team's doing better than we are. It's because I keep forgetting to cast Thunder. That's what's doing it. Okay. I'm under ice right now, so I want to cast Blizzard 4. Cast instant cast with my spell. You can also reduce cast times with certain types of materia. So there is a global cooldown, and I don't know if you can fetch that or not faster. Maybe that's what's affected by it. But basically, we're not last. That's nice. Good to know. Okay, so see, like right now, I would run my what do you call it? My umbral ice would run out. Ah, Thunder. Don't read that. Oh, I already possessed. Oh. I'm gonna risk it. Okay, I could actually use those, but I'm gonna risk it and hope that I get better caster gear later. Because you can only get one piece of raid gear a week. So let's hope I get some better caster. Alright. What are you looking at, Blanca? No, nobody's up there. Alright. Oh, that person's got the hat from this raid. Alright. So this guy, what he's going to be doing is he's got an ability where he's going to jump to people. The big thing to watch out for here, though, the big problem is going to be when the pods come out, those little drones. You're going to want to watch out for the pods because the R10 mods, you can stand between them while as they cast a direct attack across the map, whereas the R30 pods are going to do an area of effect around themselves, and you're going to want to avoid those. So when they come up, we're going to want to stand between two R10s and stay away from the R30s. Now up here, you can see those little lights in the middle there. You're going to want to stand where the higher lights are. And that's why, because the lower lights are going to shoot and hit the entire floor, whereas the higher lights are going to hit just a part of the floor at a time. So you're going to stand over there until they catch up with you. Let's get Anakian back up. Alright, looks like we lost our tank. Or maybe that was somebody else's tank. Hard to say. Alright, here we want to avoid having to hit anybody. Come on, Blizzard! Alright, got it up. Okay. So far so good. I don't really have to move too much in this fight. Except right as I cast my ley lines. Let's get back in. Alright, so I'm back in my ley lines. Oh, man. Alright. So I got my fire back. You can see the little fire crystals are charging up. Alright, again, I keep forgetting to cast Thunder. I need to remember to cast Thunder every time. Every time. But I forget every time. Alright, so now they're going to shoot little laser balls up from the walls. Laser balls from the walls. Oh no, I think we're going to do the pod thing now. Oh, nope, yep, I was right. Laser balls from the walls. Alright, so we're going to have to avoid these. This isn't too hard to do, though. Just kind of have to maneuver yourself well. Alright, see, they come in a pretty set pattern. So they're not too hard to avoid. Ah! And as a Black Mage, you really want to be standing still, so things like this are really murder on you. Alright, now you might see on occasion these kind of bubbles on the floor. Those are group shields. Certain casters can put them down. Actually, I think all the casters have some kind of shield at this point. So, originally it was a scholar thing. But then they moved it over to Astrologian had it, and then eventually I think White Mage has it now. White Mage is the antithesis of Black Mage, where I am a pure damage dealer. They are really hard-hitting healer. And by hard hitting, I mean they heal hard, not they actually hit the enemy hard. They don't. I think they don't do as much damage as some of the other healers do, but they heal the best. In that they can get people back up in an emergency pretty easily. Alright. Get over here. We want to be between them. See, these are the pod things. Oh, no, I was not in the middle. Okay. Alright. So, normally I really should be focusing on hitting Fire 4 more often. Alright, so now we need to look at the walls here. Oh no, we need to. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I'm not gonna do this time. Oh, I got it. Oh, nice. All right, so that one was there are little dots or little areas on the floor that we need to stand inside, and if we don't, then it's gonna do raid-wide damage. It's gonna hurt all of us, and we're not gonna have a good time of it. So let's get that back up. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, dang it. Ah! Get out. Get fire. Alright. Okay, and... Two charges of Xenoblast, a foul. Get fire up so I don't run out of fire. Great. And then I'm going to be switching back over into Blizzard 3. And you can see my mana basically goes all the way back up in that time. That's up to okay, so we see 10. So there's an R10 here and an R10 here, so we want to stand right between them. Okay. You do not want to stand next to an R30. It will hit you, and you will likely die. Maybe not if you're a tank, but for us squishies, like myself, glass cannons, we do not want to be hit by that. There's an R10, there's an R10. Okay, and you can see the lines. The lines tell you where they're connecting to. So, Alright, so you want to stand in those areas. Oh, watch the floor! Okay. Alright. Back open the fire. Dead! I was not paying attention to the floor. It's entirely my fault. So, in the future, it's my best interest to stream raids just because when I do, I have trouble focusing on the raid and talking to you at the same time. So maybe I should just stick with easier content. But hey, maybe people like watching me fail over and over again. Makes you feel better about yourself, so allow me to be your clown. Alright, so we dropped this time. Okay, Boots of Fending. I think I already have this. Let's see if I already have this. Sort. Yep. Already have it. Pass. Boots of Fending, I don't have. Alright. So I won those. So I'm not going to get caster gear this time. But I got boots, which is good because my tanks really could use better gear. Alright. Okay. So now, like I said, as a Black Mage, you want to be moving all the time. And this kind of content is not good for Black Mages. Okay. Alright, so I can just keep spamming this. This will keep my... I don't have to focus as much on keeping my ice up because I can just spam this over and over and over again. So some people might be curious, what is the origin of the word spam? Why do we use it? Well, actually, fun fact, spam, we all know spam as in the meat spiced ham, which is a very common food in certain areas, relatively cheap, easy to get. Now, why do we call emails spam? Well, some of you may be aware of Monty Python, and they are a comedy group from the UK from way back when, and Monty Python is famous for a sketch. I'm sure if anybody's heard of Monty Python, they're aware of the spam sketch, where basically a guy goes into a restaurant and he asks, what do you have? And basically everything is spam, you know. So we have spam, we have eggs and spam, we have bacon and spam, we have eggs, bacon, and spam, we have toast and spam, we have eggs, toast, and spam, you know. Everything that they have is spam. Okay. And the guy is just, he doesn't want spam, so, you know, he's just like, oh, I want some toast. And it's like, oh, you want toast and spam? No, just toast. So eventually the guy just gets fed up with it, and he's like, I don't like spam! And he gets really angry. I could try the accent. I don't like spam, but I'm not going to insult any UK people here with my terrible rendition of the British accent. So anyway, he basically shouts about how much he hates spam, and everybody's in shock. Well, computer science people originally really... apparently the people that were early on the internet really liked Monty Python, and they kept getting these emails that they hated. You know, it's just this email that means nothing, and you're getting tons and tons and tons of them. And they hated it. I don't like these emails. And so, of course, that reminds them of the Monty Python sketch, which then, of course, I don't like spam, so then they just started to call those kind of emails spam. So, of course, that's where we get the email, that's where we get the term spam for email. And now, flying through the lightning, and now, spam, the email term, has become a verb. That means to send or do something over and over and over again. Alright? Just like you get spam emails all the time. So when I am spamming attacks, that is a direct link to, not direct, but that is a direct line back to Monty Python. So thank you, Monty Python, for giving us our gaming vernacular. You are the true OG. Ah, get away from everybody! Stay away from me, I'm toxic. Alright, so I'm sure most of you actually probably already knew that, but maybe there were a few people that thought that would be a nice, interesting little tidbit. Alright, so I'm going to want to be in the whole openings here. So I'm going to stand here, you're going to run past me. Alright, so I don't get hit, because those lasers are going to hurt. Alright, and we're back. See, this boss I can stand still a lot more, so that makes me happy. I don't have to be as good. Alright, but I do need to remember to use my thunder, which I constantly forget. One thing that's really nice about Final Fantasy XIV, if you probably haven't noticed, but it's a nice little quality of life thing. Up at the top, you see a purple bar. That is the enemy's life. Okay? And under that, you can see a bunch of little squares. Ooh, do not want to stand there. Those squares are the statuses that are currently on the enemy, the things that he's afflicted with, let's say. And so those are like mostly your DOTs, your damage over times, but also things like if they're slowed or if they're paralyzed. Those are all the statuses that they have on them. Now, keeping track of your own statuses then would be quite difficult. For instance, I have thunder. Well, how do I know which thunder is mine? Well, first of all, anything that's under a white number is not yours. Anything that is yours is going to have a green number under it. So that's how you know which ones yours are. Okay? However, beyond that, yours are always going to be listed first. So you're always going to see yours listed at the front of the line. So you're going to see like 1 or 2 or however many DOTs you have or how many statuses you have at the front. Green type, those are yours. I'll show you in a second here. Alright, so let me cast Thunder. So we can see she's already got a bunch of them. Okay, so you see here at the front here. Ah! I can't attack and do it at the same time. So if you look, there's a whole bunch of statuses on her. One of which being Thunder. And it's in green, and that one's mine. Okay, so my Thunder is in green. So I know I have 18 seconds left on it. So that's just going to make your life a little bit easier, keeping track of what you should have up and when you should be using it. So, nice little quality of life thing there. So I can see my Thunder's down to 4, 3, 2. I'm going to recast Thunder. Thunder's back up. See, so if you're paying attention, you're a better player than me, then this would be great. Alright, just going to do a spin to win. Okay, fire ready. Oh, that's a good idea. Alright, another fire ready. You're going to want to run in on her. Okay, I lost it. I wasn't paying enough attention. Alright. So she's going to teleport. We're going to want to stand over here. To teleport to here, and then she's going to do cascade-wide damage. Alright. So, looking good. Centrifugal slice. Ah! Oh, no, I'm fine. No. Oh, I did it again. No. Alright, let's get our mana back up. Blizzard 4, get my charges up, getting this shield bubble thingamajigger. Fire 3, fires up, cast my fire spells. Cast my other fire spell. And let's get rid of these stacks of foul because I'm going to get a new one soon. I don't want to overstack. Thanks, cat. Ah, get away from everybody! Stay away from me! Alright, I think I can attack from this range. There we go. Boom! And back to fire again. What is she doing? Oh, okay. So you see that she's got those lines. Her attack is 4 parts resolved. She's going to jump to 4 different people. Thankfully not me. Oh, yes, she is jumping to me. She's jumping to me. Boom. There's me. Okay. Ah, get my fire stacks back up. I've not been paying attention. Okay. Alright, and Thunder's back down. Gotta get that back up again. Ah, so busy. Okay. Alright, reproduce. She's gonna clone herself. Alright, so I have to pay attention to what she's gonna do, because all the other guys are gonna do the exact same thing. She's gonna do the AoE, the ring attack, which means I want to be close to her. And then they're gonna do the exact same thing. So I want to be as far away from all of them as possible. Oh wait, the farthest away from all of them is right underneath one of them. Oh. Oops. Alright, so I could go back to the starting point here, but if I do that, I'm going to be outside of the fight and then nobody can res me. So don't go back to the start. You can't run back to the boss. Once you are out of the boss, or once you're in the boss fight, and then you're out of the boss fight, you cannot get back into the boss fight, so don't do that. That is bad. Alright, something's gonna port over here. Oh, okay, I want to be here. At the beginning. Keep casting the wrong spells. I keep casting ice when I'm in fire and fire when I'm in ice. As a general rule, too, if you're not really sure what to do, just look where everybody else is going and go there. That is 80% of how I play this game, is I just look where everybody else is going and then just go there. See, everybody's heading over here, so I want to head over here, too. Ta-da! Fade off. Always pay attention to your surroundings. Ley lines. Ah, ley lines. Alright. Okay. Got Prime Blade. Okay, we want the pulse. Oh gosh, can I make it in time? Yes, I can. And I'm not dead. That's beautiful. Where's my shield attack? Ah. Nope, that wasn't it. AoE spin. Get away. Get in. No, don't get in. Get away. Oh god. Stop dropping stuff. What are you doing? Ah. Oh, no. I was just inside of it. Ah. I thought I was outside. So, it's always nice to have a pet with you when you're playing these games, because when you screw up, you have something to do. Pat and say, it's going to be okay. Alright, get back in. My mana's low. Go into ice. Replenish that mana, baby. Yeah, great. Okay, now get this charges things back up. And now, have fun spamming fire until my mana runs out. Alright. Yay! I got a puppet coin. Alright, so that was okay. I died a lot more than I did as a summoner, I think. But that's actually kind of okay, because summoner's more mobile and it's easier to play. So always give your recommendations. People love to get recommendations. I love to get recommendations. I need these cards. Those are for the triple triad game that I was mentioning earlier. Need it. Need it. Ah, I always get low numbers. I never win that one. 68. Yeah, I'm not going to win that. 58. Not going to win that. 76. Not going to win that. Already have one. Ah. If I hadn't grabbed those boots for the... I could have had it. But I can't. I could have been guaranteed that. Oh, that's so sad. Oh well. It's okay, my summoner and my Black Mage can already access this raid. My tanks cannot, so I need to improve their gear so I can come back in as a tank and tank it. Alright. You should look at the camera. Why are you looking to the back of the room? Oh well. Okay, so as I was saying before, this is Fenrir. Big dog mount. Okay, so let's go ahead, switch over to a tank real quick. There we go. Yes, here. Alright, I'm a warrior. And now I can equip my new shoes. Ta-da! There, new shoes. Nice. So now I am slightly better. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm high enough level yet to go into the raid. Yeah, you can see here. Average item level 465. I'm currently 451. This is 460, 430, 430, 430, 480, 490, 490. 440, 450. So I'm going to need to get... This one is the big one I need to change. That one needs to change. These need to change. These are good. And all of these need to change. And then I should be high enough level to get in. Now, if I'm looking at a summoner or a Black Mage, you can see 470, 460, 60, 80, 60, 90, 90, 90, 60, 60. So all my gear is really good. So my average item level is 472. And I need 465, so I can more than easily get in with this. So I really don't need that new gear. I would do slightly more damage. I would be slightly more dangerous, effective, powerful. Slightly better. Ooh, 1 minute. Okay. So we can wait for 1 minute. Alright. These are my favorite emotes, so I have them listed under favorites. Yeah, rave party. And soon we'll get a little notice that says somebody has completed a venture, and then I can go in and get that new stuff. Yeah. So, waiting for 1 minute for that thing to go. 60 seconds always seems so much longer. I need to repair my gear. Always keep your gear repaired. See how I'm at 76 here? 72? That means that it is getting hurt. Alright. Okay. There we go. Completed the venture. Let's see what you brought me. What's that? Ring. Level 60. Worthless. That's okay. It's actually not entirely worthless. And I will show you why. Remember last week I was like, don't bring me a fish, don't bring me a fish. She brought me a fish, see? Always fish. How many fish do I have in my inventory right now? Let's see, let's do sort. Okay. There's a fish. Oh, I sold the other fish. Oh, okay. But we can see here how many fish we're currently selling. Let's see here. Fish. Oh, this is a part of a crab leg. This is not a fish. It's a sea anemone, but it's seafood. Fish. Another fish. Seafood. You can see here, like, ingredients. Seafood, 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 seafood. Always getting seafood. Hate seafood. Yeah. Like in real life, I don't like seafood. And let's see on this side. Alright. Seafood, 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 seafood. See? I don't know why a bullfrog is seafood, but it is, apparently. So. Alright. So anyway, as I said, that ring seems worthless. Well, it is not. Let me go to my grand company, which is kind of like an in-game guild. You have your free companies. Those are your guilds. You play Guild Wars or World of Warcraft. Games you have, like, call them clans. Just a thing. But they have... Final Fantasy XIV is unique in that you have your free companies, which are your traditional guilds with players, but then they also have, your Grand Company, which is kind of like an in-game guild. So there's one associated with each city, and let me check out these boots. Try on. Clothes. Yeah, those are okay. Ifrit Harpoon. Do I want Ifrit Harpoon? Do I want to keep this, or do I want to get rid of it? Ooh, glory. Nah, I don't need that. Alright, so your Grand Company is kind of like an in-game guild. It belongs to each city-state, so they actually compete with each other. If you were to do PvP, then you would be joining with your Grand Company. That would tell you which side you're basically working on. Kind of like in World of Warcraft, it's always Horde versus Alliance. Well, here it's always the 3 Grand Companies against each other. However, you can go in as a freelancer, and basically it will just put you in an empty slot, so you can go work and play on a different company's team. But anyway, worthless things still have value, because I can go to this guy here, the personnel officer, go to undertake supply and provisioning missions. So normally I can make things, okay? So I can make like these greaves or this staff. So you can make stuff and you can turn it in for them. If you see a star, they'll give you more. So you can see the experience for this is 170,000. The experience for this is 180,000. So basically, these are all associated with your crafting classes. So this is for a carpenter, blacksmith. This is for armor smith. This would be for your they're not called jewelers, but basically it's your jeweler, leatherworker, tailor, alchemist, and culinarian, which is a chef. So you can get these things, and you might notice that these 3 are super high. I mean, this is 9 million, this is 9 million, and this is 9 million, whereas this is 70,000. And the reason for that is because your experience is based on... These are all max levels, so they would give me the highest level experience, although it wouldn't matter because I'm already maxed. Level up your crafting classes. Only do them once a day, but it's still a good way to let... and then provisioning, these are for your 3 gathering classes. If you guys are watching our podcast, Middle Age Gaming, Korean had a question last week about could you play this game as just a gatherer, and the answer was as one of these guys. Yes, you could play the entire game doing this and you would never have to do too much combat. However, with these 3, you would need to do combat because you need to access new areas, and the only way to do that is to progress in the story. So, but yeah, so you can see this, again, this one is 16 million. So I would get 16 million, but this one's max level. This is my second highest, and this one's my lowest, which is kind of funny because actually this one started as my original class that I was trying to work with in terms of gathering. But yeah, so you can do this as a good way to get experience. You can also do the Ishgardian restoration, which I'm not going to be showing you today, but that's another way to do it. Maybe we could show you that sometime. But you can do these for your crafters, do these for your gatherers, and then this is just kind of a general thing where you can just turn in extra gear that you don't really need. And then it gives you something called seals. Okay, so these ones will give you experience. It'll give you seals. Requested means how many do they want, and quantity is how many you have. Whereas with these, you can only get seals, you will not get experience. But, throw that away, throw that away. Seals are great because you can go to this person right next door, Quartermaster, and you can use your seals to buy things from your Grand Company. And depending on your rank within your Grand Company, so the more you do with your Grand Company, you can go up in rank. I am max rank. But you can buy things. Now, most of these are low-level stuff. You can see these are all level 30, so you probably would not need this unless you were trying to level up a second class and you just needed something super quick. But these are good for what people call glamours. Most of them don't look that great. But glamour is basically where you can style your clothing to look however you want. So you can come up with your own unique looks. And because otherwise, like I said, like right now, if we look, this is my Black Mage. This is my Summoner. The gear is identical. It's just identical gear. So you can use glamours to make... so anybody else who has equipped is going to look identical as well. So basically, this is a way to make yourself stand out and look a little bit different. So, max out camera. Alright, and so this is all low-level stuff. You can also turn in for materials. These are ventures. These are what I use to send my little people out to work for me. Those are the 2 that came in, and then I could send them out on another mission a little while ago. Those cost ventures. You can use it on certain things, like antidotes and echo drops, which most people probably don't want to use these because they're not actually all that useful. You could either wait 10 seconds for this effect to go away, or you could use a item. 10 seconds usually isn't that much. Some things are good for like gardening, so if you want to grow some stuff. Some of these things are, let's see. This is a medicine. This is a medicine. All right, and then but these are useful. Okay, these basically mean that while I am doing my crafting or gathering, I get extra experience, so I can level those faster. These are used for making things. Over here, we have some more armor and stuff like that. Now, stuff looks a little bit better. I mean, check out this. You know, kind of cool looking sword there. Nasty looking axe. Ah, it's so tiny. Not worth it. Let's see. There's a jacket I really like in here anyway. You can also get barding, which are little outfits for your chocobo, which is a giant chicken that you can ride. That's always fun. You can get these, which basically... so for example, this one will return some energy when you are gathering, which is useful because it means you can gather stuff better, more efficiently. This makes your gear spirit bond with you faster. Spirit bonding is nice because what it does is it makes your gear better for you personally. This one makes it your durability loss slower. So you saw that I was at 76 before. This would make that happen at a slower rate. This one takes off any glamours you put on something. This one puts on any glamours you put on something. Spell used by the Grand... This makes your armor slightly more powerful if you're using Grand Company armor. Alright. And these are just decorations that you can put around your house. Alright. If you can see, like, there's a map. I think I have this map in our Free Company house. I know I have this in my bedroom. And yeah, but the real one you're going to want is cordial. Cordials are great because these will sell on the market. And then these are more making stuff, flooring. All right, so if you want to decorate your house, I don't have enough for that. Portrait. These are actions that you can do, like salute or whatever. And these let you change the class of your squadron. Squadron's over here. My squadron should be done. So you can see what they do. You can have 8 members in your squadron. You can see 3 of mine right now, or 4 of mine right now, and the reason for that is the other 4 are currently on assignment. So I'm going to check to see how they did. And the mission was a success. Great. So now you can see I have 8 people. So come back over here, the squadron sergeant. And he's going to say, I'm going to go squadron missions. They refresh this week, so I can pick something. So always look at what you want here. Alright, I usually go for these or these because they can get up your... They give you bonus experience when you're crafting or mining or whatever. This one's also good if you like to go to the gold saucer. And... this one can get you more seals, but seals are never really an issue. So basically, what I'm going to do here, let's see, Arcanist, Conjurer, Rogue. I don't have a Rogue. So if we look up here at the top, it says Mission Affinity. That means that these people are going to get a bonus, and you're going to see this little uptick arrow here and here. So pick a thing you want to do. For instance, I'm going to let's do this one. Get the engineering manual. All right, and then it says up here, it says Mission Affinity, Mikote. Those are the cat people. And then up here we can see what they're good at. Okay, and these are the optimal levels: 430, 620, 275. I've got this one covered, but I don't have the other 2 covered. If you want to get the best result, you want to get all 3. If you get all 3, you are guaranteed to get it. But if you don't have all 3, you are not guaranteed. So I will pick my 2 Mikotes. I only have 1 Mikote. I thought I had 2. I only have 1. Alright, so let's try this one instead. Ah, okay. So, and then here are humans, and Elzen are elves. So let's put an elf in there. Human, human. All right, so we can see that all 4 of them would have bonuses, but only one of these is covered. So, my odds of success are very low. So let's see. Let's go with 2 tanks. And okay, so now you can see I have 2 of these covered. So my odds of winning, or odds of success, are much, much higher. Getting all 3 are really hard to do with the high level stuff. So, but let's see. So I am guaranteed, if it's successful, I'm guaranteed to get crafter scripts. Okay, so these are things I can spend on crafting gear or materia. These are for chemistry trigger rates. So this is actually good because what this means is this is 30%. This is 10. This is 100%. This is 100% because of the bonus. But this one doesn't have a bonus. She's 40%. But because of this one, she's actually at 70% right now. So there's a 70% chance I will get this. So this is actually really, really good. And if I could find one, let's see if I can give you an example. Let's see. No, let me come today. Elzen Rotter, Elzen Thaumaturge Conjurer. Let's see. No, not Rogue. Not Rogue. I want either an Aura. Okay. So you can see here, now it's up by 60%. Okay. So this one's at 100 because she has the bonus now. She's at 40, but she's actually at 100% because this is here. And this is 30. This is actually at 90%. So this one here, this ability is actually really, really good. So if you can find somebody with that, great. Oh, okay. So this is currently at 70. This is at 70. This one doesn't really matter. And this one is at 100. So, and I can't get what I want. The engineering manual. Okay. Well, nah, let's go with this one just for the bonus MGP. Alright, so deploy that. They'll be gone for 18 hours, and then we can come do that. So, one last thing. I'm going to show you guys how to do some crafting, okay? Because my crafting stuff is back up. So we're going to go over to Yule Moor. That's one of the new areas. So for people that are into crafting, I will give you a short little how-to. So once a week, you can go to certain people and they do what's called deliveries. You can do 6 deliveries a week, and the deliveries will give you quite a bit of experience, but they will also give you crafter scripts, which you can spend on gear or materia or anything for your crafters. So this is the highest level delivery. You can only do 12 deliveries a week, and each person will request 6 deliveries. So that means you can only fulfill requests for 2 people. So I'm going to come over here to Kaishir, see what he wants. He wants a flying printer set. Now I could also go out and do the gathering. Okay. So I could either, this is for either the botanist or the miner. This one's for the fisherman. But I'm going to do crafting because I'm showing you guys crafting. So I'm going to do this flying printer set, even though this one has a bonus. I'm going to do this one. So first what I need materials to craft the flyers set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come running out here. Alright, run over here. And go to the merchant, and I'm going to need to buy materials that I can use. So we can see the flyer printing materials here. Okay, I'm going to need 6. Alright. Now, if you failed, you'd have to buy a new one, but I'm not going to fail, so. Alright, so now I'm going to switch to a crafter class. I prefer tailor. I like tailoring. So I'm going to switch to a tailor. I could also do it with my culinarian, or is my leather worker up to? Yeah, my leather worker. These are all max level, so they all basically can do the same thing. I'm gonna come back in here because the music's more enjoyable. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up this, the crafting log. But before I do that, I'm gonna walk you through my abilities. Okay, so basically over here are my synthesis. Basic, focused, rapid, and careful. Basic is free, it's not gonna cost me anything. This is CP, this is my energy. Basis is free, it doesn't cost me anything. It'll progress my item by 100%, or sorry, by 120%. This one is also free, but it has a 50% success rate, so it could fail. But if it's successful, it will give me a 500% increase in not quality, but completion. Okay. So anyway, these synthesis are going to help complete it. So when I get 100% completion, I've crafted the item. And they all do different things. This one gives me 150% progress, but success rate's 100%. This one gives me 200% progress, but the success rate is 50%. However, if I use this ability over here, Observe, then it will be 100%. Over here, okay, so this is going to increase the completion of my item. These abilities over here, the touches, are going to increase the condition of my item, the quality of it. So the higher the quality of an item, the more it's worth. So you want high quality items, you're going to need to use these abilities, and then you need to use these abilities to complete it. Okay. Observe just kind of takes a turn. Inner Quiet is going to make it that every time I increase quality, each stack of Inner Quiet is going to multiply that up by a higher amount. Tricks of the Trade will renew my CP, so if my CP, every time I spend something, it's going to go down, 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 down. Tricks of the Trade is going to give me CP back, but only when the material is in good or excellent condition, which I will show you when I get there. This is going to basically heal the condition of my item. This kind of slowly heals it, but it actually heals it at a slower rate than what you're actually using it. So basically it just halves the damage you're doing to the material. Over here I have some more synthesises, and I have these abilities, which I'm not really going to need right now. These are for certain increases in things, but I'm not going to need them. And then over here I have more abilities that I'm basically not going to use, with the exception of Focused Touch. Alright, so let's go ahead and start crafting. So I'm going to open my crafting log. I'm going to hit triangle. Okay, we can see over here. Alright, there's a triangle thing here. And if you're wondering how I'm using a mouse here, I'm actually not using a mouse at all. Okay, it looks like I'm using a mouse. You can see the little cursor here. What it actually is on the PS4 or DS4, you have the D-pad. Final Fantasy 14 allows you to use the D-pad as a tracking pad, like on a laptop. So any kind of game that is actually released for PC that would need some sort of like selection method like this is actually entirely doable on the PS4, because this is basically just a tracking pad like what you'd see on a laptop. So that's how I'm able to do this. Now when I'm doing it, I'm using my thumb. Okay, it took some getting used to. Obviously, if I was on a laptop, I'd probably be using my index finger. But the way I hold it, I'm using my thumb. So it took a while to get used to, but I did get used to it. You can also do it for if you're talking to people. If you hit the triangle, it brings up a keyboard, and what I could do is I could use this to type things out. Okay, so I could be like, you know, H-I space. And it's slow. Okay, it's slower than using a real pad, but you can get kind of fast with it. I usually still use the D-pad to scroll through things, just because there's more accuracy. If I'm doing this, it's kind of like wonky, you know. If I'm like J, and I'm like, oh, I'm off J, you know, trying to hit J. You know, there's a lot of little adjustments, but yeah. All right. Anyway, back to where we were. So what you're gonna do? Okay, you're gonna want to come over here, hit triangle. Okay, it brings you into here. I have master recipes. I don't need to use those. Housing, no. Other, no. Story, no. Beast, no. Custom deliveries. Beast scribe quests or other kind of quests you can do to get your levels up. So I'm doing a custom delivery, so I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up my custom delivery menu. This guy here that I'm talking to is Kaishir. Kaishir. I call him Kaishir. So I'm going to click on him, and it's going to tell me all the things that he could possibly request. Now, he was requesting the flyer printing set, so I'm going to go for that one. Okay, and it tells you what you need over here to make it. So I'm going to go up to flyer printing set, select, Okay, so I need the fire printing materials, which I bought. Go down to synthesis. Okay, and now we're going to do some actual crafting. So if you want to craft these sort of things at the highest level, the method that I usually use is I'm going to use Inner Quiet first. Okay, and what this is going to do is every time... Okay, so you can look over here, you can see progress and quality. When progress is 100%, that means that I have finished my thing and I've crafted it. Quality is going to say how good it is. And collectability basically is kind of a rank of how good it is. So the higher my collectability, the more rewards I'm going to be getting for turning it in. So I want to get this all the way up to the top. So to show you how this works, what I did is I did Inner Quiet. So now whenever I use an ability that raises quality, it's going to multiply by some stack of Inner Quiet. It's not going to multiply like Inner Quiet 2 equals times 2. It's more like Inner Quiet 1 is, I guess, times 0, and Inner Quiet 2 is like, you know, times 1.2 or something like that. So it's a very small increase, but you'll notice a big difference later on. So what I'm going to do is I want to use my touch abilities. My touch abilities increase my quality. And the touch ability that I'm going to want to use is this one here, Hasty Touch. So I could use this as 100% success rate, this one is 100%, and this one is 50%. But the thing is that this one only has a 60% success rate, but it's 100% quality. This one has 100% success rate and 100% quality, but this one's going to cost me 18 CP down here. This one's free. So because of that, I can save my CP for doing things like repairing later, which you're going to see. So now that I have my inner quality up, I'm going to want to use Manipulation, which is this healing spell here. Restores 5 durability. We can see over here durability. This is basically the life bar of your item. If it goes down to 0, the item breaks and you fail creating it. So you want to keep your durability up. So this is going to restore 5 durability with each step, which we notice if we look over here, it's going to say increase quality and require CP. It doesn't tell you the durability cost, but the durability cost is 10. So this is going to reduce my durability from 10 to 5. So I'm going to cast that. Okay, and now we can see here that my condition is good. So if I wanted to, I could hit this ability here, Tricks of the Trade, and what that would do is it would regenerate some of my CP. But I don't need to do that for this crafting stuff because of my gear and whatnot. So I know I'm going to be able to complete it before my CP runs out. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use Precise Touch. And what Precise Touch is, you can read the tooltip there. It increases the quality by 150%. Or it increases Inner Quiet stacks. So my Inner Quiet, I have 1 right now, by 1. But it's actually going to increase it by 2. So normally every time I have a successful a successful touch ability, it's going to increase it by 1. This is going to increase it by an additional 1, so it'll go up to 3. My success rate is 100%, but my efficiency is now 100%. Okay, so because the quality is good, I'm going to get 150% quality. So here, I'm going to click it, I craft, and you can see my quality right there went up a little bit. Okay, and now my condition is back down to normal, so I cannot use Precise Touch anymore. So I'm going to use Hasty Touch again. Okay, I failed. That's okay. Use Hasty Touch again. I was successful that time. Use Hasty Touch again. 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 And one more time. Okay, so you can see it failed. So right now, I have a little bit left to go, but I'm down to 25%. I'm down to 25 points. Now, if it goes down to 0, it's going to break, and I don't want it to break. So what I can do now is I'm going to restore. I'm going to use Master's Mend, which is going to restore 30 durability. However, because I have 1 more stack of Manipulation, that's going to be an additional 5. So it's actually going to restore 35, which is why I waited until I'm 25, not waited at 30. So I'm going to use Master's Mend here. Okay, and now I'm back up to 60 durability. Okay, so now I can continue, start over again. My Inner Quiet stacks are already 7, so now I'm just going to hit Manipulation again. So that's going to reduce the amount of durability cost each time. I got a good condition again, so I'm going to use Precise Touch again, which I probably actually don't even really need to. And now we can see that I've maxed out my quality. Okay. So this is the best it's ever going to be. This is the highest quality it can possibly be. So now I'm just going to work on my progress. I could use Careful Synthesis 2 times, and that should do it. Okay. Alright, and then I've synthesized a flyer printing set. Okay, so that was just one. I'm going to do this 5 times. And this time I'm going to open up the calculations. So this is going to show you what all my different actions would do at the current time. So, or at the current thing. So at 500 efficiency, my progress would increase. So what we're going to look at right now is at 150% efficiency, which this ability, if you read it right there, the description is efficiency is 100%. So at 150% efficiency, progress would increase by this much. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Inner Quiet again. All right. And then I'm going to do Manipulation again. Okay. Now watch this. Right now it's 1252. But if it succeeds... Oh, it failed. Oh, it failed again. Oh, so unlucky. There we go. Okay, so now I have 2 stacks of Inner Quiet. This should actually be higher. It's not. But anyway. But you can see, anyway, I went up by 844 last time. Okay. So that would take us up to 1688 if I got the same thing again. So another 844 would be 1688. So watch. If I do it again... It is higher than 1688, okay? And the reason for that is because my inner stacks or Inner Quiets are higher. So each time I get another stack of Inner Quiet, it's actually increasing the amount my quality increases by. So the more so early on when you're playing, if you don't really know what you're doing, if you don't really know what you're doing and you see your quality going up by just a tiny bit, you're thinking, oh my god, like there's no way I could possibly get the highest quality. If you have Inner Quiet up, it's going to get faster and faster each successive time. So, you know, the first few, you're going to, you know, you might use, like, say, 4 abilities just to get it halfway, but it might only use 2 to get it the rest of the way. So, just because you see a little bit of progress in the beginning doesn't mean that that's not a good thing, okay? So let's do it again. Fail. Fail. And you can see I'm very, very unlucky this time. I'm getting a lot of failures. Oops, I casted the wrong ability. Okay. So you see I'm getting a lot of failures, but that's okay because since I'm saving all my CP for this Precise Touch. See, and Precise Touch goes by a huge margin. So what you could do is when I get a good condition, I could use Tricks of the Trade to get some of my CP back, but actually the benefit from Precise Touch is going to be higher than the benefit from having that extra CP. So... And now that I'm so close, I could use Hasty Touch again, but I'm actually not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over here to Delicate Synthesis, okay? Because what Delicate Synthesis does is it increases both progress and quality by 100%. So if I use it, it's going to give me a little bit of progress, but at the same time it finished off that quality here. And I don't want to use just Delicate Synthesis because you can see right here, it did over half, which means if I did Delicate Synthesis twice, I would complete my item, but my quality would be really, really low. I don't want that, so instead what I did was I waited until the end to use Delicate Synthesis and just got it kind of the last way. Now I'll show you how fast it can go if I just walk right through it. Okay, so Inner Quiet, Manipulation, Hasty Touch. Okay, Hasty Touch, Hasty Touch. Oops, I should have gone with the Precise, but I got Hasty Touch. But I still got a benefit from the, since it was good there. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, this time I'm using Precise Touch. Big jump. Hasty Touch again. Heal it back. Throw Manipulation back up. Use another Precise Touch. And I'm just going to risk it. This has, Rapid Synthesis has a 50% success rate, but it gives me 500 progress. So if it succeeds, it just automatically finishes off my entire item. Otherwise, I could use Careful Synthesis twice, and that would have been guaranteed to do it. Alright, so this... I had a good quality there. I should have used Precise Touch, but I was too quick on the trigger there. Alright. And I'm going to do this basically 6 times. Oh, I meant to show you there, but I forgot. Okay. Get that back. Okay. Oh, it's so low. Alright. What? There we go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna 2 times. And alright, there we go. And there's one more thing I should show you. Hang on. Alright, so I want my inner quiet, I want my manipulation, hasty touch. Okay, so now I have an excellent quality. This is rare, this doesn't happen as often, but this is going to give me a huge boost. It won't finish it, but it'll get pretty dang close. And watch here, it says inner stack quiet 2. So if I had a successful one, a successful touch, normally it would go up to 3, but on excellent or good, it'll jump up to 4 because it'll actually give me 2 stacks. So, see now it jumped up to 4, and it jumped all the way up here. So it increased by a considerable margin. Now you'll also notice that condition is poor. When your condition is poor, that means if you do a touch action, it's actually going to do less. So right now this is at 100% efficiency, but with poor it's probably closer to like 50 to 80. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my time here. I'm just going to do 1 careful synthesis. Okay, so that's going to put my condition back to normal, and since I'm going to need the careful synthesis later anyway, I can just grab it now. Finish this off, and careful synthesis it out. Okay, and the last one. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. So I don't have any stacks of inner quiet right now because I forgot to put it up, which is really bad because I really should have done it. So I lost out basically on a free stack of inner quiet right there. All right. And so this is why I kind of like crafting in Final Fantasy XIV is in other games. I mean, obviously I haven't played every game out there, but I have played WoW. I have played Guild Wars 2, and there the crafting was basically just you had to learn a recipe and then you had to have the correct items, and then once you had the recipe and you had the items, then you would just craft it. You just say craft this item, and done. Boom, it's gone. And then there's just kind of a little, you know, maybe a little level of RNG in there. You know, there's a chance of failure depending on if it's above your level. Then, you know, maybe there's like a 80% chance of success. If it's at your level, it's 100%. If it's lower than your, or, you know, maybe it's 80 when it's at your level, it's 50 when it's below. Or it's 100 when it's below, and it's 50 when it's above. So, you know, but it was basically just, you know, select this item, craft it, done. And sometimes maybe you have higher quality things, but there's kind of a level of RNG, random number generator in there. And that would make it so, you know, you just have to craft tons of things. Final Fantasy XIV makes it so much easier because you can just craft something, be like boom, boom, boom. You know, you have more control over it, and that makes it more fun for me. And I don't have any of these things. Okay. So we can also do is you can come here. You can do what's called quick synthesis. And I can't do quick synthesis for this recipe because I don't have any items anymore. But I'll show you after I turn these in. We're going to go to the next zone and do my other 6 for the week. And they'll go a lot faster, I promise. Okay. So I'm just going to turn them all in. Okay. And I can't turn them all in at once, unfortunately. It would be nice, but it's okay. There's only 6. And basically, I'm going through real fast what he's saying, but he's basically saying like, "Oh my God, you're amazing! These are the highest quality things I've ever seen in my life." Okay, and then there'd be a little cutscene there, which I'm going to skip because it's really just him talking about how great I am and how thankful he is that I'm amazing. And I'm not just bragging; like that's literally what he's going to say. So now, I didn't really show you, but it gave me crafter scripts. And I can come over here to the script exchange. I can use my crafter script exchange. I can use yellow scripts, which are for lower level stuff. White is for the max level stuff right now. 80 is the max level. I already have all the gear. Okay. I don't have all those gears, but I have all these gears. Okay, so you can see I have one of everything, and I have one of all the armor. So they haven't released the accessories yet. So I'm going to go to items, because I don't really need the white crafting skips anymore, because I basically have all the stuff I need. So these are items that you can use to craft certain collectibles and whatnot. I don't want those. What I want are these three things down here. Okay, these are materia. You can put these on your gear, and they're going to make your crafting better. So this is going to increase your control by 13%. Control is what impacts when you increase the quality. How much does your quality go up by? This increases your CP, so that's the energy that you use. This would give you 9 extra energy. And this one is craftsmanship, which basically means that when you try to complete the project, the amount that the progress bar goes up is higher. So most people, like I said, progress, you're pretty much guaranteed if you know what you're doing. This has a little bit of an element of an RNG to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to buy 2 of these. And the reason I'm buying 2 of these now, my current gear, I actually cannot equip materia to. There's no materia slots. You can't really see it. But if I switched over to, another class, like maybe Blue Mage. Oh no, that's a Blue Mage gear. Maybe my Lancer. Let's see if anything. Okay, so if you look over, in the description, item level, you'll see it says materia, and there's 2 little green circles. Those are where you can equip materia. So in certain gear, you can equip materia, and that's going to increase your stats. So the gear that I'm currently using on my crafter does not have materia slots, so I cannot increase the stats on this gear. But some gear does. So if somebody had that gear, then they would definitely want to equip materia because it would make their crafting a little bit better. And the reason I grab it, though, even though I can't use it, is because I can come over to these guys here, and just as an example, I'm going to pull something off the market. I'm going to pull this crab leg off the market. Oh, well, no. This is selling for 100. Selling for 200. I'll grab this one off the market. So return to inventory. So now, if I come over here to this Craftsman's Command Materia, I look at the price. This stuff is selling for 14,000, or higher. So you can make a lot more money off of this. Now, I'm not going to sell these. I'm going to go back and sell this for 100. And the reason for that is I could sell those right now, but people tend to like to buy these in stacks. So, for example, you saw most of them on there were selling for like stacks of 10. I usually sell for stacks of 4 or 5. So I'm going to wait until I have more, and then I can sell more at one time rather than selling them in small amounts. I'm just going to sell them in bulk. So it's also important, though, that I didn't grab my yellow stuff. I didn't grab the yellow crafter scripts. So I'm going to go back here real quick, spend my yellow crafter scripts. Oh, that's not, I don't want to talk to her. Alright, and I'm going to sell these. I'm going to exchange these for materia as well. Okay, the other material was level 8. This is level 7. So I'm just going to buy 5 of these. And I would sell those because there are 5 of them. So now I'm going to show you... I'm going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it... No. We don't want to go to Kugangan. We want to go to Robbers Reach. Alright, so... I was just crafting something at my level. That was basically level 80 items. I do have one ability, though. That's going to make crafting lower level items much, much easier. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to Minago because she's going to tell me what she wants. And then once I know what she wants, then I can start making it for her. Now, this older content is a little bit different from the newer content. And I'm going to show you after I talk to Minago. So she wants M-Tribe Sundries. So I'm going to run over here. Because all this stuff is on the... Because of course everything you need is always on the opposite side of the room, right? It's never right next door. So I have to run complete opposite side of camp. This guy over here. Material supplier. Now, before I talk to this guy, I need to check something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the crafting log. Go up to Minago. And she wanted the M-Tribe Sundries. Now, we can see M-Tribe Sundries and M-Tribe Sundries component. Now, if you look, M-Tribe Sundries require 3 components. Okay? Now, if I go over to Kaishir, it's just printer set. There's no printer set components. Okay? But if you look at Zoe, there's, you know, component, antique, component, souvenir, component, material, component, gift. So all the components are here. Minago has them as well. Kaishir does not. Now, the reason for that is because... Let's see. I'm going to need one... Oh, no. I need 3 components for each sundry. So I'm going to go to the materials supplier. Now, I could go in and I could buy component materials. And then I could buy the materials, and then I could create my own components, or I could just buy components. Now I'm just going to buy my own components. Let's see, there's 3, so I'm just going to buy 17 so I can show you something. So I'm going to buy 17 components, and I'm going to make the last. I'm going to make the last one. Okay. So what I used to do is I used to have to come in here to Minago. I would have to build, you know, make the I would have to make a component. So what I would do is I would just come in, basically do the same thing that I was doing before. You can see I'm a much higher level, so I'm getting quality much faster now. Excellent quality. That should finish it off, I think. Yep. Okay, and then finish it off. Okay. So you see it says M-Tribe component, and it has this weird little C thing next to it. So now, if I go here, you can see this is NQ and HQ. NQ is normal quality. HQ is high quality. Okay. So if I'm using 3 of the normal quality items, then you can see that my quality starts off at 0. Okay. So my quality would start off at 0, and I have to build it up. Now, if I use a high quality item, you can see that my quality starts with a boost. So before, what we would have to do is we would have to build... we could basically buy the regular normal quality components, or we could create our own normal quality components. So we could buy the components to make the materials. Okay. Or we would have to buy the... What were they called? Component materials. So we'd have to buy component materials, craft high quality components, and then use those high quality components to craft high quality sundries. Okay. And so that's what we used to have to do. And basically it could literally take me 20 minutes to a half hour, depending on how many of these I have to do. Because I would have to craft, because I need 18 of these, and I would have to craft 3, you know, I'd have to craft, luckily I would only need, so I'd have to craft 18 of these, and then I'd have to craft another 6 of these. And then because I'm trying to get high quality, I'm using all the abilities, so I'm, you know, going the long way. But now, for anything that's over, since we hit level 80, they added a new ability. So now anything that is over, anything that's 10 levels or under my current level, so you can see this is level 62. Okay, I'm level 80. So I can just use a new ability called Muscle Memory. I think it's Muscle Memory. No, it's not Muscle Memory. Where is it? It's not Muscle Memory. It is Trained Eye. Where is it? Muscle Memory? Ah! Okay, well, I just wasted a sundry. I'm going to throw that one away because that one is not... Well, you see the collectability is 114. That's garbage. Okay, so over here, I'm going to purchase another 3. I hit that ability by accident. So I need another 3, 4, 3. Okay. Alright, so I wasted my materials. So there should be ability here. What is it called? Is it Black Mage? Should be one. Ah, okay. Trained Eye. So I have ability Trained Eye, and what it does is it increases quality by 100%. What that means is that it automatically gives me 100% quality. Okay. Now I could just hit Trained Eye and then hit the other ability. Where is it? I don't have Trained Eye on my bar. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so here's Trained Eye right here. So I could do it that way. So I could show you here. So I could just go and hit Trained Eye. Okay, and you can see it uses a lot of CP. But I instantly get 100% collectability. And then I could just basic synthesis to finish off the item. Okay. Alright, so I could do that. But I'm lazy, so what I did is, you can see down here, high quality part 2. I made myself a macro. Okay, so I'll show you macros real quick. So macros are over here. And so my macro uses Trained Eye, waits, then it uses Careful Synthesis, then it waits, and then it uses Careful Synthesis again. So basically what I can do is I can just hit this macro, take my hands off, and it's going to complete the item for me. Okay. So I just did that to save myself a little bit of time. Now I wouldn't want to do that with the high level stuff, because the high level stuff you have, remember, when it's good quality, I want to be able to use Precise Touch. So I have to pay a little bit more attention. I can't just make a macro that's going to work. There might actually be a way to do it. I don't know. But I haven't figured out a macro for it. There might be some online. But I just use this macro for lower level stuff, and for higher level stuff I just do it manually, because it tends to work pretty well. So close. So, alright, and then I can just synthesize. So like I said, this used to take me 15-20 minutes, sometimes longer, to knock out not just the one person, but because I would have to go to 2 different people. So I would actually be doing not only those original 18 components plus the additional 6, so 24 items for this guy. I'd be doing 24 items for somebody else as well. So like for instance, up with Kaishir I had to do 6 items. So I'd be doing 6 items for Monago, and I would be doing 24 items for Monago, 24 items for Zoe, and that would just take a really long time. But now, because of Kaishir, I don't have to make those small level components. And then also, you only have to buy 1 component for each thing, as opposed to 18 or whatever. So I think basically they just figured out that everyone was figuring out macros anyway, and they just figured, you know what, let's just make it easier on everyone, because everyone's just using macros anyway. So they just made it all easier on us. So I'm going to come over here to Monago. I'm going to talk to her. She wants the M-Tribe Sundries. And if we look, you can see down here, collectability. So if the collectability was 114, her satisfaction would go up by a little bit. Her satisfaction's already all the way up, so I've maxed that out. But for the M-Tribe Sundries, we can see that the collectability is, she's going to give me gil, she's going to give me some money. She's going to be yellow scripts and white scripts, and the higher my quality is, she's going to give me more money, more scripts. Okay. So, let's go over, hand over these things to her. Okay. And one more. And then of course she would go into a cutscene again. Talk about how great I am. Okay. Alright, so then you can see how crafting works. And it's always good, you can come over here to your character, go to currency. You can see how much of your currencies you have. This is my battle currency. I can use these to grab items, gear. I can use this to buy different kinds of gear. I got these from this week from the raid. These are discontinued. I don't have any. It doesn't really matter. These are seals. You can get these from doing hunts. Other ones, okay, so the common ones is Gil and the company seals, adventures, and the gold points. Battle is stuff you can spend for when you do dungeons and whatnot. These are my seals, or crafter scripts, okay? I can see I have 1,000 of these, I have 200 of these. Alright. These are for an event that they are currently doing in Ishgard. Might show you guys that sometime. That's another way to get your crafters up really, really well. And then these are the beast tribes. Okay, so you can see I have a lot of Kupo nuts. And some of these things, I've spent most of them. So, yeah. So now what I'm going to do real quick is because... Hey, pig! So because I got my new scripts, and they can max out, so I don't want to do that, because when they do that, then it'll give me a little pop-up that says, oh, do you want to turn this in because you're not going to gain any more things because you're maxed out. So basically, every time I'm done with my with one person's group, I just come over here to my crafter script and immediately spend them. The whites I'm not going to have enough because they go relatively slow. I need 500 for my materia. But instead, I can come over here to the yellows, and I can definitely come in and buy some more yellows. So next time my retainers are not selling items, then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to sell off these. And I'll probably do it in 2 stacks of 5. So I can make a good 40,000 gil off of that, you know. So I should be able to make fairly good money. Okay, well, that is it for today. We went through the raid. I showed you some Black Mage. It'd be easier for me to show you in solo content, but I need to do the raid anyway, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to jump on that. And then I showed you some crafting, so now we got a little bit of idea of how to do everything. So, yeah, thanks for coming, and I will see you all again soon. All right, bye-bye.